Hello, my name is Kai, and I'm going to tell you about the evolution of PlayStation. Back then, Ken Kukawaji is the father, creator of PlayStation. In 1988, he saw his daughter playing a Famicom and realized the potential that existed within video games. Then when Nintendo expressed a need for a wavetable sound chip for its upcoming 16-bit video game console, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Ken accepted immediately, working on it secretly. He built the chip and designed it. When Sony found out, executives were furious, but only with Sony's CEO, Norio Oga's help, Kutawaji was able to keep his job. It was originally a product by Nintendo and Sony to create a CD-ROM for the Super Famicom, but Nintendo denied the existence of the Sony deal, which meant that the PlayStation would have been partnership with Nintendo and Sony. And they even actually made a Nintendo PlayStation, and they even partnership with Philips to make the same technology, and the deal was broken by Nintendo after they were unable to come with an agreement to how revenue would be split between its two companies. Due to the partnership being inflated, Sony president Norio Oga, who responded by appointing Ken Kukawaji with the idea to develop the PlayStation to rival against Nintendo. Then in 1993, Sony decided to rework on the PlayStation to create a new generation of hardware and software. As part of process, the SNES cartridge space was dropped from PlayStation, and to place the words together, make it called PlayStation. Then in 1994, in Japan, in December 3rd, the first PlayStation was released. And the PlayStation was first launched in North America in 1995 on September 9th, then in Europe on September 29th. During the same year, it was launched. Then in Oceania, it was released on November 15th. The console was a huge, immediate success in Japan, selling 2 million units within the first 6 months. Then the PS1 had a slim model of the original PS1 model. It was released on July 7th, on 2000. Concurrently with its successor of the PS2, it was considerably smaller and was a redesigned version of the original PlayStation video game console. It went to outsell all other consoles. And the PlayStation 2, the PS2 was launched in October 26, 2000 worldwide, and March 4th in Japan, and November 24th in Europe, and November 30th in Australia. It sold 155 million units and 150 million, which was confirmed by Sony in 2011. It is considered to be the best console and the best selling console of all time. Almost more than 374 game titles were released for PS2 since it launched. Then more 1.5 billion copies were sold. Then in 2004, Sony had released the PS2 Slim, and so on throughout the years, and has been around 13 years, which was discontinued in January 4th, 2013 worldwide, and December 28th in 2012 in Japan. Then in 2004, they announced the PSP, otherwise known as the PlayStation Portable. In May 11, 2004, before Sony's press conference before E3 2004, It was released in December 12, 2004 in Japan, and in March 24, 2005 worldwide, and the PAL region in September 1st, 2005. It competed with the Nintendo DS, and it was part of the 7th generation of video game consoles. It became the most powerful portable system when it launched. After the Nintendo DS launched back in 2004, it's the first real competitor to Nintendo's handheld. The console's launch was a success, which sold 200,000 units. During the first day, it had launched different color variations. The system enjoyed great success at other areas, with the PAL region selling more than 25 and 100 units. Pre-ordered in Australia, even nearly 1 million across Europe during the first week. Then in E3 2005, Sony revealed the PS3, otherwise the PlayStation 3. And it was the first console to use Blu-ray as the primary storage medium and to play Blu-ray movies, even the first PlayStation to encourage social gaming services, which then they revealed to be called PlayStation Network. The PS3 was released in November 11, 2006 and March 23rd in the PAL region, 1 year after the PS3 launched, and sold 600,000 units. Within the first 2 days, it had a slow start in the market, but it had managed to recover, particularly after the introduction of the Slim model. It had launched 14 game titles at launch, and another 3 were released during the end of 2006. The console was originally planned for a global release through November, but at the start of September, the release in Europe and the rest of the world was delayed until March, with it being a somewhat last-minute delay. And the console had 2 other models, the PS3 Slim and the PS3 Super Slim. The PS3 Slim was released in September 1st, 2009 worldwide, but some retail stores decided to sell them early at August 25th, 2009, like Amazon, GameStop, and EB Games, including Best Buy. It sold in excess of 1 million units within the first 3 weeks on sale. Later on, the PS3 Super Slim was launched in September 25th, 2012, which was even a bundle with one Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception with 250 storage, and the 500GB was even bundled with Assassin's Creed 3 and was released in October 30th, 2012, and was discontinued in October 2016 worldwide, and in Japan in May 29th, 2007, and New Zealand in September 29th, 2015. And the successor of the PS3, the PS Vita, otherwise the PlayStation Vita, was launched in Japan in December 17th, 2011, and February 15th, 2012 worldwide, and in Europe in February 22nd, 2012. It competes with the Nintendo 3DS. It had a strong launch in Japan, selling over 300 million units within its first week of availability, though it figures shortly afterwards shrunk down into 78% to under 73 million sold in the second week, then settled into 12 million sold per week. In the following week, similar to the US, during its debut, it sold 200,000 units in the first month, before it shrank down into an amount of 50,000 a month, 1.2 million units during February 26, 2012. It is a portable system so that you can use the console, that you can use the controls manually. For example, moving the analog sticks and using the D-pad. It can also use touch controls on the back and the front, like using an iPhone, even to play games. And last but not least, the PS4, otherwise, of course, the PlayStation 4. It is also the successor of the PS3. It was announced in February 20th, 2013. It was launched in November 15th in North America at 2013, and in November 29th all over the world. And 1 year after it launched, in February 22nd, 2014 in Japan. It sold 1 million units in North America, and in Europe, it sold almost 250 million units within the 48-hour period. And with the 2 days of Japan, it sold 322 million units. During the weekend, PS4 software units surpassed 20.5 million on April 13, 2014. So PS4 can share gameplay footage of your games on Facebook and YouTube, and it can also broadcast your games through Twitch, Dailymotion, formerly able to through Ustream, which sucks, and YouTube. And it can show screenshots of your games through Twitter, Facebook, and of course, for messages. It can also use remote play through the PS Vita to play all of your PS4 games. And you could use an Sony Xperia smartphone or tablet to use remote play. Not only that, it can even use the PlayStation app to connect your smartphones and tablets and your PS Vitas. You could use second screen as an option to use it. Certain amount of occasions, like controlling the PS4 as remote through your tablet and phone. And an example would be creating your own objects, like a ball, from your device and setting it to the PS4 system, mostly as an option whenever you need second screen to use something. And 3 years after they launched the PS4, they came up with the PS4 Slim. Is a revision of the original PS4 hardware with a smaller form factor, and it was launched in September 15, 2016 with 500 gigabyte with the same price for the original PS4, and will replace all of the original PS4 models. Then in April 18, 2017, Sony said it would replace the 500 gigabyte model with 1 terabyte at the same price as the PS4 Slim. Sony then announced the PS4 Pro in September 7, 2016, and it launched worldwide on November 10, 2016. It's an upgraded version of the PS4 with improved hardware to allow 4K windowing and improved PlayStation VR performance. It can play PS4 games with 4K, even though that some of them don't usually use it. How 4K would work for games on PS4 Pro: if it's PS4 Pro Enhanced and the games released for PS4 in the past can even be played through 4K, but not all of them are, and the PS4 Pro also supports remote play. It could also stream up to 1080p 2160 per screenshots and 1080p video at 30 frames per second. It can also be captured through the share button. That's all for the evolution of PlayStation. Bye. See you next time.